you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest gas?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Butte.
What's up, Brian Deegan?
Ron Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Racer, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, DirtFish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR IndyCar? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride. Amy Hood.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Amy Hood, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Racer. Another week here, and man, we are locked and loaded for one heck of a show. I'm kind of on a weekend hangover. I mean, not in the in the physical sense, but not in the alcohol sense, man. But one heck of a weekend for me out there at Terracross at Heydays, 50th anniversary of Heydays. And saw my buddy Levi LaValle stomp down a 207-foot snowmobile jump. And, not only that, but I did some Terracross racing, and, we had some Formula Drift stuff in Texas. And, man, I don't know. We got a ton of guests today, though. My buddy Blake Bilko Williams, FMXer, who also dabbles in some Red Bull Global Rallycross and now dabbling in some Terracross. We're going to have him on the line. My good friend Emme Hall from CNET. She's also an off-road racer, but she is an auto reviewer as her day job, or 9 to 5. Anyway, she's going to be on the line talking about the new Subaru WRX Sti. And then we've also got Ryan Sage with Formula Drift going to be recapping the weekend there in Texas. And then throw in a little bit of Joe Duncan, and James Rimmer from DirtFish Rally School is going to be making his GRC Lites debut this weekend in Seattle. We are locked and loaded for another 2 hours of one heck of a good time. So we're going to take a short commercial break. We come back, Amy and myself, we're going to be kicking things off here in style on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Racer.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When RJ Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX Sti a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Need new tires? Between September 1st and October 15th, General Tire's making trails, and you can receive a Visa rebate card for up to $70 with the purchase of 4 qualifying tires. From the ultra-high performance G-Max AS03 to the all-new Grabber X3 for extreme mud, dirt, and rock, General Tire has a tire that will help get you there. For more information, drive over to GeneralTire.com, and remember, with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And Jim Beaver here in studio. Amy Hood calling in from that Canadian Winnipeg studio we've got set up there, right? We'll make things sound a little bit fancy, right, Hood? I know you're sitting on the couch with your feet kicked up and, you're sitting there on the phone dialing in, but we'll call it a studio anyways, right? You there, Amy? No, she isn't there. So there we go, man. Failure on our part at Canadian.
Oh, I'm here. I just had you guys on mute. Sorry about that.
No.
I am not kicking back, sitting with my feet up in the garage. I've been up since 8 o'clock. I don't know if you've been following my Instagram, but I have been one heck of a Martha Stewarting hard this weekend. I came home on Friday, and I was like, I'm going to build something. And I decided to build a whole new bed frame and headboard out of wood and makes it look like old beech wood and whatnot. So I'm on the final stages today, putting the headboard together and putting it all together. So I am not with my feet up. My hands are dirty. I got stain everywhere. I'm Martha Stewarting hard.
You're making our friend Jeanette Ewan up there in Canada proud, man. I don't know.
It's so fun. I love making stuff, and everyone's like, "Oh, make me one." I really think it's probably going to cost me more money to ship something to the U.S. than to actually build something. So probably won't be able to make anybody a bed anytime soon. But I have to admit, it's pretty cool looking. I downloaded Pinterest, okay? I like to make crafts, and I like to cook and whatnot, so everyone tells me about this Pinterest. Pinterest is my guilty pleasure. I get lost on there forever, and I get so many cool ideas, and I just said, screw it, I'm going to do something. I'm going to build something today. And, funny story, I actually had somebody at Home Depot say, I overheard one of the workers, when I asked what the right kind of bolts to use to put this all together, said, I overheard her as she was walking around the corner, said, girls like this don't know what the F they're doing. And when she came back, I said, well, excuse me, I'm actually making this bed out of scratch all by myself with no help. And even if I didn't know what I was doing, you probably shouldn't put down somebody for trying. So I was pretty mad at Home Depot, and I probably won't go back there again.
Oh, man. Well, that's a bummer.
I want to show her my Instagram and be like, you know what? I do a little of this and a little of this. Yeah. Oh, she made me so mad.
Yeah, so the reason why Amy, to bring everybody in the loop, is Martha Stewarting up there. It's because her boyfriend was actually with me in Minnesota. So there you go. Yeah, I get Hood 2 weeks ago. I get B Money this week, and I don't know. We just all haven't been in the same place at the same time. Like I'm getting half.
Did you see B Money's Instagram? He's so proud of his B Money status that he changed his Instagram as formerly known as B Money on the Down and Dirty Radio Show.
Yeah, I saw that. I was cracking up. But man, it was a fun weekend up there. We got lots of Terracross to talk about, but we got a ton to talk about. I will say this: Haley Deegan is ridiculously fast. The girl, first time ever in a Razor, and she was like the fastest. I think the fastest at all the men and women. She even beat her dad, just as far as lap times go. Yeah,
no way.
That girl is a shredder. And I was talking with
about shredding girls though, Sarah Price. The girls lined up against the boys like we were talking about should happen, and they did. And Sarah and Shelby finished top 3 in the guys' class. Jim, what was the talk around the pits? Did the guys like that? Were they bummed out? What What was the talk going around there?
No, I think we all knew it was coming. It's like, we all knew it was coming, that this shootout race, and they actually had 2 shootouts. So to the guys' credit, I mean, everybody knows I wave the girl flag. Like, I'm all about the first one. I think the top 5 were men, and then Jolene finished 6th. But in the second one, it was just the opposite. It was all women up at top, and the guys were in the back. So I don't know. At this point, I'm going to say, I'm seriously, massive props to Sarah Price. Right now, I'm going to say we're at a tie. So going into the next round of shootouts, I think it's like we got to have the rubber match here, because the guys destroyed the women in one, the women destroyed the men in one. So it's kind of even. I mean, but still, that being said, Sarah Price, holy crap. We all knew she was fast, but she just literally, I mean, and it wasn't like she squeaked by. Like, Sarah was like half a lap ahead of everybody.
No way.
Yeah, she just checked out. So
after the event, and she said she had so much fun, and she said it was a staff class, and it was just as much fun as it was last year, and that I was obviously missing out.
The track was amazing. They got rid of the over-under, but they had this double/triple where you could double it.
Wow.
That you could double it, or you could triple it. And it was one of those things where, like, at the beginning of the weekend, I was just doubling it, and by the end of the weekend, like, you're hitting this thing, like, you come out of a corner, and to triple it, you have to be on the pipe coming out of the corner and full on all the way to the lip, never lifting to triple it. And finally, by the end of the weekend, I was tripling it. But I mean, it's a commitment. I mean, you're hitting this thing wide open, like 60 miles an hour in a razor, and it's just boom, you're just sending it. It takes me a while to work up to stuff. I'm not like one of these 18-year-old kids that right out of the gate they just eye it and it's like, game on, let's do this. Like me, no, I got to hit it and work my way up.
Yeah, because you got to go to work on Monday, unlike a lot of those 18-year-old kids. We got a radio show, we got to host on Tuesday, we got to be in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
We got to be going in the hospital.
I will say my back is a little sore this week, but nothing the chiropractor can't fix. But no, it was super fun. Lots of new faces. I mean, we got Bilko calling in later on. It was great to see him out there trying his hand.
Well, then he joined in. It's he's one of those guys who's also, kind of putting freestyle just on the side burner while he, tries a whole bunch of different things, rally and now Terracross.
Very talented too. He's, everybody sees Bilko as the TV show and the Nitro shows, as the funny guy and always having fun and cutting jokes and stuff like that. Like, I mean, you get him on 4 wheels. I mean, he's legit. I mean, you gotta, like, he's got this facade of the fun guy and everything, and he's a fun guy, but there's so much talent there, and I think sometimes people see, like, the fun-loving guy, and they don't take him serious, and then he gets out on tracks like, holy crap, we really need to be taking this guy serious. He's legit.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, I mean, it goes to show with him being able to jump ship and succeed at any kind of thing he tries. And it's funny because, a lot of times they say, a lot of people just stick to two wheels, that's what they know. They can't drive cars, but a lot of two-wheel guys are switching over to 4 because with age comes a cage.
Yeah. And then Levi LaValle stomping a 200 and I believe 7 or 8 foot jump. I was lucky enough. They let me in behind the scenes. So, there had to have been 10,000 people watching it, but I got to go up and I was literally standing about 2 feet from the takeoff launch when he jumped, and I got to walk it and look at this thing. And like, everybody's like, he jumped 400 feet, 200's no big deal. Like, I don't know. I walked up to it and I go, there's no freaking way I'm hitting this thing. Like, it's a huck, I don't care if it is only half of what his record is. It was still a long, long jump.
Did you happen to see the freestyle and Brett Turcotte missed his holy grab? And it was like a scene out of a movie that makes your heart sink and you swallow your breath and you don't know what is going to be the outcome. But he went to do a holy grab. That's where you push off the snow machine and do like a Superman and grab the seat, but you let go. And he missed it. He pushed off too early, and it's, go look on his Instagram. There's a crazy video of it, but he actually, lucky for him. I mean, this is a professional. You're a professional when you know how to crash. You don't just like spider monkey onto the ground. Like, he rolled and tucked his head in and like rolled off the landing, and he was fine. Apparently he just had a sore back, but Jim, you have to go see his Instagram and see the sled going one way and him going the other way. Like, it's heart-wrenching, but luckily he was okay.
Yeah, I saw the pictures afterwards. I was in the pits when that went down, but it was crazy. Speaking of crazy, we got two other things dropping today. Ken Block's Gymkhana 9 went live at, I believe, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern time. I think when I went on there, it was already at 60,000 views, but by the end of the day, I guarantee it'll be over 1 million. Ken Block's Gymkhana 9, that is live. Go and check it out, and make sure Project Action tomorrow, not tomorrow, Thursday, but Project Action debuts. We will have Ken Block on my new show. Kind of getting behind-the-scenes look at Ken and his life. And then Jolene Van Vute, she dropped a new video part in a new moto film called Ride United. I know she was super pumped. It's the first film part she's done in quite some time, and it's the first film part since coming back from injury. So Ride United's available today on iTunes and as well as on DVD. So make sure and get that. We're going to take a short commercial break. We come back. Ryan Sage from Formula Drift. He's going to be calling in, and we're going to be talking about the weekend in Texas. So all that and more still to come on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris Razor XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti. A 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX Sti a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Need new tires? Between September 1st and October 15th, General Tires making trails, and you can receive a Visa rebate card for up to $70 with the purchase of 4 qualifying tires. From the ultra-high performance G-Max AS03 to the all-new Grabber X3 for extreme mud, dirt, and rock, General Tire has a tire that will help get you there. For more information, drive over to GeneralTire.com, and remember, with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? DirtFish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, DirtFish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, DirtFish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, DirtFish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit DirtFish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from DirtFish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DirtFish Rally. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here. I'd like to welcome my friend Ryan Sage with Formula Drift to the line. This is our Formula Drift post-event interview, where we recap kind of the ongoings of Formula Drift after each and every event. And Texas on tap this past weekend, Ryan, and my apologies to you. Normally I am locked and loaded into your guys' live stream, watching you and Jared have all the fun, and I was out racing Razors in Minnesota this past weekend, so I seriously kind of tried to keep tabs via social media and some videos and stuff like that, but I really didn't get to see the event as a whole. So I'm kind of going to be relying on you to kind of bring me in the loop, my friend.
Yeah, no worries. It was a pretty crazy event. We had a brand new winner, first time in his career. Matt Field took the top spot on the podium. Chris Forsberg remained consistent. He got his 6th podium of the year in 2nd place, and one of the young guns kind of coming up in the scene, Alec Conadale, got 3rd place. So yeah, it was mixing things up. It was definitely a very pivotal moment for the championship chase, and things going into Irwindale have certainly gotten a little bit more clear now.
Yeah, and it seems like every event, like it's so exciting to me, and it seems like really the past 2 years we've really started seeing it ramp up, and I think it's Formula Drift's initiative really a couple years back, with the creating the whole Pro 2 division and things like that. But seeing these young guns and these first-time winners, I mean, for the longest time it was kind of, the series was dominated by the old guard, and now it's a great mix of, like you said, you got, the veteran Chris Forsberg, who's been around from the beginning there in 2nd, and Matt Field taking his first victory, and but you look down the grid and and the top 32, and it seems like every event it's just a really good mix of both young, old, and and guys, it's just a great field.
Yeah, I know. I actually gave a presentation this past weekend about what it takes to become a Formula Drift professional, and obviously you have to have a lot of skill and talent and be focused on the sport, but the matriculation into the Pro Series is actually not that difficult relative to other motorsports. I mean, you can literally make it into the Pro Series within 2 years and be in contact with what we call the largest millennial motorsport audience. I was doing a calculation. Our top 10 guys in social media combined beat IndyCar, Global Rallycross, and NHRA combined. So the audience of our series is really, really grown, especially on the millennial side and in social media. So we're really excited about that, and we're happy to see a lot of new drivers come in the series.
Yeah, well, and the thing I love about Formula Drift, too, is obviously there's a lot of American drivers in there, but your audience is so global. I mean, where certain series, whether it be IndyCar, NHRA, or even Red Bull Global Rallycross, a lot of them are focused just in the United States, maybe North America. But you guys, I mean, the global audience you get is second to none. I mean, maybe Formula One, but I just look at, who you pull from, and it's every corner of the globe.
Yeah, 50% of our audience online for the live stream is from outside the United States. So there's certainly a really interesting international appeal to it, and especially with the younger demographic. I think a lot of it has to do with how fast and how action-packed the driving is, and also just the appeal of the drivers as well. So it's been really interesting to be a part of and watch as it has grown. And I've spent a ton of time overseas, especially in Japan and other parts of the world, doing events and watching the sport as it's developed there. But it really has grabbed hold in a very, very unique way in the United States, and we're starting to turn over some new leaves in our general appeal to the mainstream audience. So it's been really, really amazing to see, what kind of fans are coming out to the events, who's consuming our content when we put it online, who's watching our TV show, and overall just been really exciting.
Yeah, well, and then you talk about your online content in the live stream, and I almost get a chuckle because a lot of these series and stuff like that, it's all about numbers, it's all about TV numbers, and I'll see these ratings, and they'll come to me and we pulled in 250,000 viewers to our TV show a couple of weeks ago, or 300,000 viewers, and I'm looking at that and I'm going, man, like Formula Drift's pulling in more than that on their live stream, and that doesn't even account for your TV package. I mean, your live stream is just it's crazy the amount of numbers you guys get.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. We were early adopters of technology, and we really, really pushed the live side of things, and have been very active on social to try to promote that, and have some really good partners that have helped us with content distribution and things like that. So it's been something that we feel that our audience gravitates towards. I watch TV like anybody else, but I find myself more often than not, on my computer or on Apple TV or Google Chrome, Chromecast, that kind of stuff. So, and I think our audience does that as well, and that's what the metrics have been showing. So I think we'll continue to push that and see see how it develops.
Yeah. Well, and that being said, like you said, the millennial audience, and I guess I'm technically not a millennial. I don't know what I am, but what are we? I'm 35. What am I considered? I don't know, but
definitely not a millennial.
No, I know I'm not a millennial, but
I'm not a millennial anymore.
Yeah.
It's the generation below me who can't live, sleep, or breathe without their cell phones. I don't even think they know what a telephone is.
Yeah.
That's a millennial.
Okay, all right. So we got our expert Amy here, but bringing me back. But no, like seriously though. I mean, I understand that though, because I know with you, like I was out at Heydays in Minnesota racing razors and watching Levi LaValle do these crazy jumps, and I want to get Formula Drift. I'm getting out of my razor. I got 15-minute window, so I open up my phone, and I'm locked and loaded to your live stream from my phone there in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota. And the TV, it's almost an afterthought. Like I've got the DVR to set up and record all your shows, but I don't know when I'm going to get around to watching them.
Yeah. It's certainly. I mean, I'm 36, so I'm in the same category as you. But just because of the nature of my job and what we try to do for our audience, you certainly have to kind of keep in touch with what's going on. And we've got a lot of young people working in our office, so I see the tendencies and the trends and what's kind of going on. And it certainly is a changing world, that's for sure, and it's fast changing, in fact, and we will continue to embrace new technologies. I mean, we were really one of the first adopters to get into kind of the Facebook Live stuff and saw some tremendous results from that, and we're looking at new technologies now in terms of content distribution and things that we can do on social to really kind of ramp up our message. But yeah, it certainly is. The days of just doing a TV show in terms of presenting your motorsports, in my opinion, are long gone. You kind of have to have a little bit of everything and try to be in front of your audience as much as you possibly can. Yeah,
well, I've learned that even with radio. I mean, we've got a live online show. We've got the show that airs in national syndication on AM/FM networks. Then we've got the podcasts that are, archives. And like you said, like I've got my hands in so many different baskets at this point. I don't even know where all the places where the show even airs, but I guess that's also a good thing at times. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, no, I wanted to talk real quick, too. I know, obviously, Texas is there. We got Irwindale up next as far as the Pro Series go. I wanted to make a mention because it's only 2 hours away. I'm going to try and sneak out there. But next up for you guys, you got Pro 2 event in Phoenix, all-new event for you guys, and it's a Pro 2 only event. You guys got to be pretty excited about this. This is kind of something new, right? A strictly Pro 2 major event. Is this the first time you guys have done something like that?
Yeah, this is the first real test for the relevance of the Pro 2 series as a standalone. So, we're gonna be out in Phoenix and have a standalone Pro 2 event out at the track out there, and it should be interesting. I mean, this year the Pro 2 series has kind of turned into something that we feel even after 2 years can maybe be a standalone in the future. So this is a good test for that. It'll be an opportunity for those drivers to kind of go out and show them what they're made of. It should be interesting.
Yeah, Phoenix is a good motorsport market, though, and I'm sure Jared's pumped about that being in his backyard. But I think it'll be solid. I'm pretty excited to get out there and check things out, and just see how it goes off. I think it's going to be well attended, by fans and competitors. So pretty pumped on that. And then after that, it's Irwindale to cap things off, man. The House of Drift. I know there's always been the past year or two kind of a question mark about Irwindale. Is it going to be the last one ever? You're back though. You guys got to be pretty darn excited.
Yeah, Irwindale's home for us. It's basically where the sport started. And yeah, you're right. It's been a very ambiguous story about whether or not Irwindale is going to survive for much longer. I mean, we thought last year was going to be for sure the last year. And then, as we were going through the event weekend, we were hearing a lot of different things. And then over the past, 8 months or so, there's been a lot of different types of organizations speaking up about the future of Irwindale publicly and privately. And so it's been really interesting. But, there's nothing we can really control on that side of things. So we're just going to go out and try to put on the best event that we can. And certainly the championship is very, very ripe this year. Last year, Frederick Osbo was pretty much running away from it at this point. Ken Gucci needed to win the event, and Osbo needed to get knocked out in the top 32. This year, it's much, much tighter. We've got 3 guys that can possibly win it. and it's looking to be a one of those ones that goes down to the finish. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. 3 solid guys there, kind of shooting it out in Irwindale for the championship. And then looking at 2017, I know obviously you're not ready to announce any kind of schedules, but you guys got any surprises up your sleeve for us, maybe?
We might, yeah. I mean, we're going to be we're working on 2 major announcements at SEMA right now. We've got some plans for a Tuesday night announcement and also a Wednesday announcement. We pretty much have a tentative schedule in place. We're just basically going back and forth on a couple different options relating to what we're going to do with the Canadian event, and also the possibility of maybe going to the Midwest. So we're looking at some of those as more the
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Ryan. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, buddy. I know awful busy, but as always, more than welcome anytime you want. And I enjoy doing the segment, whether we have drivers on, or you, or Jared, or Lorette, or whoever we have. But much appreciated, and take care, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Amy.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
All right, that was Ryan Sage with Formula Drift. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, Emme Hall, off-road racer and editor for CNET.com's Roadshow. She's going to be on air. We're going to talk a little off-road, a little ladies in motorsport. I'm sure Amy will have some fun with that, and about the new WRX Sti. So all that and more still to come on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors R.J. has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
For over 100 years, General Tires provided tires for your lifestyle and your adventure. From the ultra-high-performance G-Max AS03 to the all-new Grabber X3 for extreme mud, dirt, and rock, General Tire has a tire that will help get you there. Between September 1st and October 15th, receive a Visa rebate card for up to $70 with the purchase of 4 qualifying General Tires. For more information, drive over to GeneralTire.com. And remember, with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX Sti a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
welcome back to everyone's favorite action motorsports radio show. Not that there is any other action motorsports radio shows anywhere in the world, but I know we're your favorite, and we're number one, so there you go. When you got no competition, you're always number one. What do you think about that, Emme Hall?
Jimmy B, that is the best news I've heard all day.
Yeah, right? Oh, man.
Like it.
Yeah, so, Emme, we got Emme Hall here, my sidekick partner in crime, Amy Hood, and myself. And I don't know, Emme, I'm trying to think back. I know at one point you were one of the one of the people that have had the most guest appearances ever on this show. And
I know. It was the moment. It was like the only time I could ever beat Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, right? Yeah, there was a point I forgot about that. Emme Hall had more appearances than Robbie Gordon. He was like second to you, and Emmy's like, I beat Robbie Gordon at something. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know. You and I, it's way back. I don't know. What have we known each other 5 years now? Like literally from the start of this show, I think we had you on. And
yeah, I know. It's great. It's been so cool to see your show grow and gain more listeners and gain more followers. It's been awesome.
No, same with you though, because and those of you tuning in, Emme Hall, obviously she's now an what are you? Do we call you an editor with Roadshow? Right? I know you're a reviewer, but are you an editor?
Yeah, so I'm a reviews editor with Roadshow. We're at theroadshow.com, and we are part of the the automotive arm of CNET. And you can't be jealous when I tell you where I am right now. But I'm at a racetrack, and I'm looking at the new Ford Focus RS, and I'm looking at a Lotus Evora 400, and I'm also looking at a Dodge Viper ACR. Oh, and there's also a BMW M2. I mean, we pretty much have about $800,000 worth of high horsepower muscle cars that we're shooting this entire week. So once we get all this stuff edited, I will ping you with a link to everything because it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Right now I'm kind of going, maybe I've accomplished something in radio here because Emmy's got $800,000 worth of some of the baddest cars on the planet, and instead of playing in them, she's choosing to call into this show. So I'm like, man, that's kind of I'm taking this a feather in my cap, not really jealousy. I'm like, man, this is an accomplishment.
Great priorities. I like it.
Oh no! But speaking of your career, obviously we know you off-road race. You've gone over. You've done gazelles. You race a 1600 car. I know you did some stuff with the factory Ford Raptor program, but you on a I guess a 9-to-5 basis. It's been kind of cool to see your evolution because you've worked with various review sites, and we've kind of seen you ramp up. And I mean, now you're with CNET. I mean, this is the big leagues, Emme.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was able to finally get rid of my day job last year when I joined Roadshow, and we started up last year at the Detroit Auto Show, and it's just been kind of going like gangbusters. We've hired a new producer, we've hired a social media manager, we've got people that are just doing animated GIFs, or is it GIF? I never know how to say that, but so we're really, really growing very, very fast. We were in the top 10 across a bunch of different metrics for favorite enthusiast site, car buying site, all those different web metrics that you can get, which is it's great. It's great for us, and it's a great platform for manufacturers to show, what they've got, and for us to give our opinions on them.
Yeah. And your staple, what has your staple always been? It's kind of like the laundry basket challenge, right?
Well, I used to do the laundry basket rating. It was trademarked, by the way. But we decided,
what is that?
Now I'm going to try to just do that for social. So the laundry basket rating is how many laundry baskets can fit in the back, in the trunk of a car. Because you have to, if I just tell you the whatever has 10 cubic feet of space, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. So if you have a visual, you can put that in there. And some things I could have done rolls of toilet paper or cases of beer, but laundry baskets, they're portable, they're easy, it works pretty well. I like it.
Nice. So I know the reason we had you on, we could have you on every week, Emme. I mean, literally, you and I, it's like when Amy and I get to talking, it's like, there goes 30, 45 minutes, right? But you recently had a Subaru WRX Sti out at a track, and I'm a little jealous because I've done some stuff I probably shouldn't have done in my WRX Sti, but I haven't had it at a track yet.
Yeah, it was really amazing. I really liked it. There's most of the time when I get a new car for Roadshow, I'm kind of always happy to give it back and to get back into my own. But this they kind of had to tear it out of my cold dead hands. You know, as you guys know, the Subaru is a Turbo 4. I think it's a 2.3 liter engine with 305 horsepower. And on the track, because it's all-wheel drive, I mean, this thing just stuck. It stuck. It never got out of sorts. It was always pointed exactly where I wanted it to go. It's very easy to control. And one of the best things I really liked about it is that it still has hydraulic power steering, which is something that you just can't really find anymore, you know? So because it's not electronically assisted, because it's hydraulic, you definitely get more road feel and more feedback to it. So, like, you can feel any kind of, like, tiny little pebble that's on the road. When you're out on the street, you can feel the paint, the lane markers, because it's just so very sensitive. And that is really, to me, what makes a great car, is just knowing exactly that you can put the car exactly where you want it to go within an inch. And once you can do that, then, you know, you can go a little bit faster, right? So the Subaru makes it pretty easy to take the turns really, really fast. And with the all-wheel drive system, like, we set up a drag race, and I don't want to tell you who won, but it was all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive, so, you know, you be the judge.
Yeah. One thing I've learned, too, especially in, like, track conditions, not that I've had mine at a track or anything, but with Subaru, the cool thing I've found, and I don't know the tech behind it, but I've learned with this car, you can actually shift without the clutch. And I don't know if it's meant to be that way, but this thing in performance driving, you can absolutely shift it without the clutch. And I've learned, I mean, it makes things so much quicker. And even when I was at DirtFish this last time, I got into their school cars, and it was the same way. Like, I was able to shift theirs without the clutch. And there's something about the gearbox in the, you know, in the STIs that I don't know if they meant it that way, but they literally, if you drive it, and it's not one where you can ease it. You got to be aggressive with it to get it to do it.
Oh yeah.
But you know, if you're just farting around, you're going to grind. But if you're quick and you can shift hard enough, you can do all your upshifts without the clutch. And it's I've learned in performance driving, it's, at least in this car, it's made things a lot quicker. So that's inside tip for me.
Yeah, and, you know, it's only offered in the 6-speed manual, which is great.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. If they made it in an automatic, it would just kind of be silly at this point. Like, that's just a car.
I know. Like, well, you can get the WRX in an automatic, but it's the CVT. It's a continuously variable transmission, which is kind of an interesting choice for that. But I do have some friends that have driven it, and with the paddle shifters, they said that you would be surprised that even with that transmission, that it's pretty good and it holds its own. So, you know, that's good to hear.
Yeah. So what's up next for you, Emmy? I know we've been talking to Amy. She's been wanting to get over to Gazelles and do that for a while, but I know you've been there, done that.
Amy, oh my gosh, you would be so good.
Did you happen to do it this motorcycle? Did you do it this year?
I did it in 2016. Yeah. We came in 5th overall in the 4x4 class, which I was so very happy with that. We missed 4th by half a kilometer, just so incredibly close.
I was talking to Sarah all about it, and it sounds like an amazing event. I got kind of my paperwork, and I was going to register, but I mean, it's a full commitment. There's a lot, and you have to raise, and just going over, and I hear they take like a little bit of a language class and navigation course, and it was something that I wanted to, I don't want to go and get top 10. Like, I would go to try to win or finish or at least get a podium and do my best. And I totally think it's a full-time commitment, and I'd like to definitely do it in my lifetime before I hang up my boots, for sure. It's something that I wanted to get a little bit more driving experience in a Razor. Last year was my first year. Only had the opportunity to drive it twice, and I don't think that was going to be enough going into this event. But again, I would love to do it on a bike. That's where I'm comfortable, and that's my, that's what I grew up riding, and I think I would take more pride in finishing on a bike than even, podium on a Razor. I would love to just do it on a bike.
Yeah, you would be great because you're already tough. You have mechanical knowledge, and you're a smart woman. So, and those are really the three things that you need to do. You've just got to be able to push through your comfort zone and push through your exhaustion to win. So I would love to see you out there. That would be great.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, if you need a teammate for next year, let me know.
We'll do. Well, we are coming up now on the Rebel Rally, which is a little bit like the Gazelle Rally in that it is an all-female rally that is happening from Lake Tahoe to San Diego, and it's all navigation as well. There's no GPS involved. And so I'm getting ready to rally that. It's not a race, it's a rally. And I am super excited. It's going to be great. And I'll be in a Total Chaos Prep 2015 Chevy Colorado. So I'm super excited to have the Total Chaos set up on that. I mean, the Colorado's already a super capable car, or truck rather, but this has got a lift on it. It's got the Total Chaos upper control arms as well as the King shock. So I'm already a step ahead in terms of what the vehicle can do. So I'm excited to get it out there and, see how she do.
Yeah. What are the dates on that, Emme?
October 13th through the 22nd.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was coming up really, really quick. So, I know with gazelles, like I've worked with you in the past, like media is very difficult for that because it's so remote. And I know, like, I was getting, like, I don't know, it was like random one-shots once a day or something like that. It was just, it was really tough. I mean, for this rally, how are things? Because I know you're pretty isolated over there when you go and do, when you do gazelles. And don't they literally, I think they take phones away and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it'll be the same thing. So we won't really have any way to get in touch with the outside world while we're out there rallying. But there will be, you can put yourself on an email list and you'll get a daily update with photos and daily updates of all the teams. And then you can also track us live, which will be really cool. And then every night, I believe they're going to be doing YouTube updates at around 8 o'clock at night. So we'll be able to have those video updates as well. So it should be pretty cool. There's a lot of great sponsors that are coming on to the rally. And I'm just so excited. I'm excited to do it in my own country where I don't have to worry about speaking French and
language barrier for sure.
Yeah, there's not going to be any language barrier, and I kind of know the territory. I mean, I'm not so good with Nevada, but as soon as we get down into California, like all of Barstow, all of like the Southern California, the Imperial Sand Dunes, I'm like, that is my jam. Like I know that place. So it should be stoked to like get through there and see how we can do.
Yeah, I'm just impressed that we're actually able to pull this off because I never really thought we'd see an event like this in the United States, to be honest with you. We have so many environmental groups and things like that. I never thought this deal would happen, and I'm so glad I'm wrong about that. I tip of the cap to the organizers for making this whole event happen. It's a big undertaking, and I mean, all the credit in the world is due to them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty big environmentalist. Like I am definitely a leave no trace. I don't like to go out and go bushwhacking in the car. And Emily Miller, who has been putting this on, has really worked really, really hard with the BLM to sanction this race and to make sure that we're going to be able to do it in a way that is safe and is fun and also leaves the land for other people to enjoy, because they are our public lands and we should be able to get in there and enjoy them and make sure that we leave them as good, if not better, for everyone else that comes after us. So that's really our goal in this is to make sure that we keep America beautiful, as it were.
That's great that in the environment is actually a priority that you guys, consider going into all of this. And that's outstanding. I'm surprised actually. And I appreciate that even more now. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Emme. Well, we are up on time, but all the best of luck to you in that. Looking forward to your reviews. You'll make sure and shoot me over or text me a link, right, when you're getting ready to drop those so I can share?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm needed right now in the Charger Hellcat. I mean, it's only 707 horsepower, so like I guess I'll go drive it. I don't know. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, they'll pull your arm to go drive 707 horsepower, right? Oh my
He's
gosh!
Like crying over there.
I know. I'm so like, yeah. Send me that Roadshow Learjet. I'll come help you review them.
Yeah, right. I wish we had that.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Emme.
Well, yeah, thanks to you guys. I appreciate it. And Amy, anytime, get in touch with me about Gazelle Rally. I'll certainly help you out.
Would love to. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks,
All right.
Emme.
Bye, y'all.
All right.
Bye.
We got to take a short commercial break on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Back after this. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? DirtFish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, DirtFish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, DirtFish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, DirtFish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit DirtFish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from DirtFish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DirtFish Rally.
Honey, they're giving away $79,000 in guaranteed cash prizes for the crazy cash harvest at the Blue Water Resort and Casino.
On Saturdays, swipe your club card to receive free grand prize drawing entries for the grand finale. One winner will win $25,000 on October 29th.
Plus, on Saturdays, a chance to win $3,000 in cash prizes. Drawings every half hour from 2 to 6 p.m.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here. And Hood, I got to tell you a quick story before we go to break. I know you got to love these little quick hit segments we get here with national syndication. But so I'm up there at Heydays in Minnesota. Right, have this random guy, I'd never seen him before, and he didn't know my face, but he listens to the radio show every single week. And so I'm walking by, and I have my uniform, and the guy starts yelling, hey, 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 hey. And I'm like, what? And the guy runs up, and he's like, Down and Dirty Show, you're Jim Beaver, right? And I said, yeah. And he goes, man, I listen to your show every week. He's like, he's a firefighter. And he's like, everybody at our station listens to the radio show every week. And he's like, we've got a softball team. And he's like, we named our softball team Down and Dirty after the radio show.
Oh, my gosh.
And like, he had no idea it was me until he saw my uniform, and it's got, the logo across the chest. But he didn't know what I looked like, but he just recognized that. And like I guess their whole fire department named the whole, like, their community softball team after the show and the whole works. So I was pretty pumped, man. It was like, oh, this kind of
shout out to him, because hopefully they're listening right now.
Yeah.
But, that's awesome. Too bad. I would love to have been there to meet everybody.
Yeah, and I didn't get his name. I was literally getting ready to jump in the Razor to go out and do a race. But it was, so if you're out there, man, hit me up at Jim Beaver 15 on Twitter, Instagram. I'd love to get your social, and if you got pictures of you guys' softball team or in shirts or whatever, like I would love to see that. Like I dig fan feedback like that. It just makes my day. So like it was such an awesome story. I was like, oh wow, that's freaking rad. Named their whole softball team after us, Hood.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So, all right, we got to take another quick. This is like a real quick break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Racer. We come back. We got a DirtFish rally report. Then we got Joe Duncan calling in, James Rimmer, Bilko. Man, we got a lot coming at you here in hour number 2. So hang tight.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We got a quick DirtFish rally report coming at you, and after that, we're going to have Joe Duncan on the line, as well as James River, Bilko, FMX. I guess Blake Williams is his real name. I don't know anybody who calls him Blake too much, but Bilko, I don't know, you can call him whatever you want. I'm sure he's got a lot of other names too, but he's coming up in this hour as well. But right now, DirtFish Rally Report brought to you by our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. And don't forget, if you're on their website, use that coupon code JBDirtFish, and it'll get you 15% off classes. And when you're talking a $3,000 class, 15% is a big chunk of change. So definitely use that code JBDirtFish. And big rally news, I guess the biggest rally news this weekend, the Red Bull Global Rallycross in Seattle, making their way back to the Seattle market. And the big shakeup is there at Subaru Rally Team USA. Sverre Isaacson, Bucky Lasek not racing this event. Instead, we are going to have David Higgins, 8-time rally champion David Higgins. He is going to be in one of the seats, and Chris Atco Atkinson from WRC fame, he is going to be back in the seat. Remember, he ran there at Atlantic City, ended up having a tire puncture in the final, and not doing so well. But his lap times are some of the fastest we saw all weekend from anybody. So they're giving Atco a second go. David Higgins, who has helped develop the rallycross cars of the past, he's going to be there. And then also on the DirtFish front, obviously Connor Martell, DirtFish driver, he's back in action. DirtFish going to be running a second lights car at that event with none other than James Rimmer, who will be our next guest here on the show after Joe Duncan. So lots going on there at GRC Seattle. It's definitely going to be one heck of an event, that's for sure. So that's all going to be live on NBC this weekend. You don't want to miss that. And then Rally America, some news coming out of Rally America. From their Facebook page, it looks like they could be bringing back in 2017 Rally Colorado, one of everybody's favorite North American stage rallies. It's been kind of defunct now for a few years. Rally America working to bring Rally Colorado back as a national event in 2017. That is absolutely huge for stage rally fans. So here's hoping Rally Colorado does, in fact, get brought back. But the way things are being teased out of Rally America's social media account, some of the forums, and then also on the Rally Colorado Facebook page, it could be back as a national championship event in 2017. So that's your DirtFish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by DirtFish Rally School. Remember, dirtfish.com, and use that code JBDirtFish. We're going to be back after this short commercial break. My good buddy Joe Duncan and Amy and I are going to be on the line. We're going to be dissecting everything that went down at Heyday, so hang tight.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Need new tires? Between September 1st and October 15th, General Tires making trails, and you can receive a Visa rebate card for up to $70 with the purchase of 4 qualifying tires. From the ultra-high performance G-Max AS03 to the all-new Grabber X3 for extreme mud, dirt, and rock, General Tire has a tire that will help get you there. For more information, drive over to GeneralTire.com, and remember, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on 4 wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX Sti a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here. And another week, another Down and Dirty Radio Show. And right now we're kind of waiting on my friend Joe Duncan with Terracross to call into the show.
This is the second time he's been late. Not like him.
No, like what's going on here? Like we go like 8 months. He's always on time, like minutes early. And now it's like a couple back-to-back, and it's like, man, it's out the window. So
he's been a busy guy this weekend, though. I'm sure he's had his hands full all weekend.
Yeah, he's been running in circles, is the easiest way to put it. But I got to say, Heydays was pretty insane. Like I don't know, if you thought it was big last year, but this year just the amount of people. I don't know if it's the 50th anniversary or what, but it was so packed in there. And then Levi's jump, like seriously, there's some drone footage like up overhead that shows how many people were in the crowd. It was insane. Like I've never, like they did it alongside this road almost, and like it was on a dirt farm road, but then there was a pavement road right next to it, and like this people had lined this road. I mean, we're just talking thousands and thousands of people. It was just crazy. All good stuff, man. And then Levi, I don't know if you've seen the video, Hood. So he's going to do this, and it was really gusty winds. And so when he hits the lip, he kind of got sideways, almost like whip style. And I was like, I'm watching that, and I'm like, oh, crap. And like at the last minute, he was able to muscle it back and straighten it out and stomp the landing. But I'm like, only Levi LaValle would whip a snowmobile at 200 feet. You know, it's like, geez, man. And then the other thing that I took away from Heydays, and you can appreciate this, the timber sled stuff is getting absolutely insane. Yeah, like, I mean, to the point, like, I was talking to Chris Barant. Everybody knows him as Chris Backcountry Barant, you know, Monster Energy athlete and everything else. And, you know, and he does is backwoods, you know, backcountry snowmobiling and things like that. And he's got he does some of the most epic social media stuff. But I was talking to Barant, and he was telling me, he says, the reason why timber sleds are getting so popular on bikes is, he says, I was one of those. I was I guess he's still an early adopter, but he says, the reason why is, he says, I'm a snowmobile guy. He's like, that's how I make a living. He's like, I take my bike with a timber sled on it. He says, I can go places on my bike that I never could on a sled. He's like, he says, we get into some backcountry stuff that's so deep and so tight and so technical. He's like, I can't do it on a sled, but he's like, I can do it on my bike with a timber sled. So I don't know, man. He like he said, he's like, I'm the biggest supporter of it. And this is like a snowmobile guy, and like, you know, timber sled's cutting into his it's cutting into his moneymaker. But he's saying, like, he's like, no, like, people need to embrace this. He's like, this isn't a fad, it's no joke. He's like, these things are real deal. So
yeah, I have been dying to get my hands when I'm one of those. Renner actually keeps bugging me to come up to the mountains with him. But yeah, like, I find snowmobiles hard for me. I'm totally going to throw in the girl card and just say that I have a hard time woman handling them through the corners. And I actually raced a snowcross race once in my life, and I just had the hardest time. And I'm so used to dirt bikes being nimble, and I can whip them around and put them anywhere that I want to. But no, it's not the same with a sled. And I always found that the reason I didn't really like snowmobiles all that much. And so the timber sled, I think, would be totally up my alley. And I hear they're just a complete blast. And you can get to, like, crevices in the mountains that you can't necessarily get on a snowmobile. So it should be interesting. I'm definitely going to try this winter for sure. That's on my bucket to-do list this winter.
And that's what Barant was telling me. He's like, dude, he's like, you've got to. He's like, either call me, he's like, or Renner or whoever, but he's like, you've got to get with somebody that does these and go and do it. He's like, it's a game changer. He's like, it changed my life. And he's like, I'm a snow guy, and he's like, I'm still a snowmobile guy, but he's like, it opened my eyes. He's like, there's so much more that I can do. He's like, there's so many places that were never accessible that I can go now. And he's like, it's like, he's like, he's like, he's in his 30s, and he's like, I've made a name for this industry. He's like, I've accomplished everything you can accomplish. And he's like, now I see there's all this other stuff I can accomplish. And it was like, yeah, so he's a guy I really ought to reach out to Chris and get him on air, just especially with snow season coming. I mean, he's a snowmobile legend. Like, this guy he's a badass, but it'd be fun to get him on just to even talk about that, because it's like, it was just so cool. Like, you see him and you can see his excitement talking about the timber sled. And I'm like, this is like a real endorsement here. It's not, he's a factory Polaris guy, but you could tell it wasn't like, he wasn't wearing the company hat. Like, this was just him talking from the heart. And I'm like, man, that's what gets me excited. When somebody's telling me about a product and you can see the passion there, I'm like, man, I want to try this out. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to see you drive one.
Yeah.
Have you ridden a snowmobile at all, Jim?
Yeah, I've done a lot of snowmobiling, actually. Yeah, when I go up to Minnesota, I'm always on one. I know Levi's been wanting to get me up to do some trail riding with him. When I went up and did the Ultimate Snowmobiler and hosted that event a couple years ago, they gave me a sled to go and do some backcountry stuff. Hey, we got Joe Duncan finally coming up, a day late, a dollar short, but we do have Joe Duncan for we got all of 3 minutes left, Joe, in your segment. So let's make it count, buddy.
You know what, Jim? You were there. I'm sure you did a great job of telling everybody what was going on at Heydays. I just got off a conference call. Apologize for being late. I will call you back, or call me after your show. I'll tell you what's going on that conference call. Anyways, great to be back, and what a weekend. What an absolute amazing weekend. Mystic, Terracross, Heydays 50th anniversary, 200-plus foot Levi LaValle jump. Unbelievable. That guy just never ceases to amaze me. Comes out, knocks up 15,000 people standing there watching that jump in the middle of a hayfield. Craziness.
Yeah, so I was just telling Amy, I said, the amount of people that were there, like lining that road, and I don't know. I mean, it was, and Levi stomped it. I mean, he got a little blown sideways in the air, and he pulled it back and just absolutely stomped it, made it look easy. And, you know, that's the way Levi does everything. But, man, just impressive heydays. I mean, it was packed around that arena for every single race. You know, everybody was lining the fence. I mean, there wasn't a seat open. I mean, it was just a great way to kick off Terracross 2016.
The only way to kick it off. Yeah. Biggest record-breaking crowds. As you know, a lot of curveballs coming into this event. You know, we had some lot of changes to what we've been working on for 6 months leading up to this event, and we had to make some very on-the-fly game plan and changes of what needed to happen, and some of it came down to 2 o'clock Friday morning, our team out there installing graphics from some new sponsors that came on board, some new racers that came on board in the last hour there from Wednesday to Friday. There was a lot of changes, and you know what? Our crew just knocked it out of the park. We got all the graphics on. Saturday night we had a few left to get on before TV on Sunday. We had some great sponsors, new sponsors on board that came out there, Odyssey Battery and E3 Spark Plugs, and now Daco Belts, and of course all of our other great sponsors. And how about those Polaris Razor XD 1000, putting them through the ringer? That course that Dana and Jason and Jamie and Kevin and the whole crew built out there, one of our best courses ever. We changed where the freestyle went, and that Ziegler cat equipment that those guys had to build out there, it was unreal. Freaking real. The racing, the lines, the obstacles, and then you throw in that Mystic Mangler. And Jim, I just watched a video this morning that was texted to me of you and Skibo and Bilko. And I think Bilko trying to get over in his Motor Shield car.
Yeah,
you know, that Caliber car behind you, the Motor Shield car in front of you.
I was just
trying
sandwiched.
to get over there. It was so great, that the deep pit before the Mystic Mangler, and I hear people in the background yelling, "Back up, back up, back up!"
I tried, and Skibo was in the way, you know, and it was like,
yeah,
oh man.
So then Skibo gets back, you get back, and then Bilko makes it over, and next to you two, and as you two guys get over, here comes the next round of racers down into the pit. It was insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. But think of what we just put those razors through. And yeah, we broke some parts. Most of it was in some little bit of banging and crashing. We have all those Polaris accessory bumpers and Nerf bars, intrusion bars, aluminum roofs on these cars. Think about what we put them through, and those cars, most of them, are already all fixed, ready to get loaded on trailers to head to Camp Lejeune, Jacksonville, North Carolina, October 1st and 2nd for the Terracross Supports the Troops event, right down there, military headquarters, right outside the gates of Camp Lejeune. Awesome. And those razors held up to all of that punishment and are ready to go again for rounds 3 and 4 in 3 weeks.
All right, Joe, we're running short on time, buddy, but we will definitely recap everything next week. I appreciate it. And we got to take a short commercial break. When we come back here, we're going to have James Rimmer on the line talking his GRC Lites debut and all that and more still to come. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti. A 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX Sti a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Emme Hall here. I'd like to welcome my next guest to the line, my buddy James Rimmer from DirtFish Rally School. How's everything going, James?
It's going great. How are you, Jim?
Doing good, buddy. Welcome to the show. I don't know. I don't think every time I've interviewed you, I think it's been remote. So I'd like to introduce you to Emme Hall, my partner in crime, and Emme, James, Emme. And there you go. Introductions are out of the way.
Hello. How's it going, Emme? Hi.
So, hey, man, I know I can't remember last time we caught up. I know I was just up at DirtFish, and they kind of told me a little bit about what's going on. But I don't know if the press release even debuted yet, but I know I've got free reign to talk about what's going on.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, so I know up there at DirtFish, obviously they had the one car that Connor's racing. And then they had a second car that was the school car for training and things like that. Well, I know that DirtFish somehow inherited a second race car. And so somebody I know that happens to be on the line got the call to drive it there at Seattle. So congratulations, buddy. How'd that all happen?
Yeah, well, thank you. It came about pretty fast, actually. You know, we got an opportunity to get a second race car about a month ago, and we wanted to finish out the season with it, obviously. So my background in stage rally and kind of trying to transition into a little something else, it was kind of a natural transition into, trying to finish out the season here and hopefully get something for next year.
Yeah. Well, and I know you've done some testing in the lights cars. I mean, obviously you've got that amazing BRZ sitting there that you've done in stage rally. I keep trying to convince them to, since you're away at college, to let me drive it in one of these events, but they haven't quite decided they're going to let me drive it or not yet. But anyways, I know obviously you've done pretty well in stage rally. I mean, how is it though with moving to the all-wheel drive? I mean, the testing that you've done in the lights car. I mean, I've tested those, had the opportunity a couple years ago to test the lights cars, and they're just insanely fast.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big jump from my BRZ to the lights car. I got in it for the first time about a month ago now, and just going to all-wheel drive was a big change for me. I've done about 2 years of rear-wheel drive now in Rally America and Cascadia Cup, and getting in that thing, it's literally like a go-kart. I mean, as well as anyone, you get in there and you really got to aggressively drive it. You got to be on top of it. And with all the weight in the rear, when it goes, it goes. So that was a little bit of a learning curve. And, the tarmac aspect of it was a really big learning curve for me. Connor's had experience this year already. He's done 9 rounds of GRC so far. So, as soon as we decided that I was going to run these last 3 races, I got in contact with Connor. We're already pretty good friends, and we've been doing a lot of tarmac stuff. We've been karting 2-3 times a week in a competitive league. And then we went out to Pacific Raceways last week and did some Pro 3 cars, which are E30. It's an E30 spec series. So trying to get in as much tarmac time as I can, because if there's one detriment to DirtFish, is there's not a lot of tarmac.
Yeah, that's, well, like you said, I mean, you've got acres and acres. There is a small amount of tarmac, but not enough to really hone your skills, but yeah, and we know with Red Bull GRC, I mean, depending on the track, a good portion of it could be tarmac. But yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I mean, DirtFish now with you and Connor, I mean, it's kind of like the young guns, It's and he's done really, really well. Obviously, the program in its second year, has been highly successful so far, I would say. It's just got to be a dream come true for you, man. I mean, I've known you. I think I was able to talk to you before your first ever stage rally, and now all of a sudden Red Bull GRC. Yep. I mean, this is like a move to the big leagues, man. It's you're almost there to that top level. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Watching DirtFish from the beginning and really seeing everything kind of come to fruition here. All the guys up there work incredibly hard, and we talked about a couple years ago putting together a motorsports program, and we made our debut in GRC last year, and just with one car for the full season. But we really wanted to expand, and so we're doing 2 cars obviously this year, and
you there, James?
National events.
Okay.
And we got plenty of guys out there doing stage national events in Rally America with DirtFish on their cars, and those are a lot of our employees as well. We've been trying to support that and really support the grassroots rally as well.
Yeah. Well, and and that being said, I know you're talking about DirtFish and kind of the evolution there of the school. Like every time I'm up there, I get the opportunity to talk with your dad, and I've never seen a guy that is so passionate about rally. I mean, it's like he says, he's like, I was never that good in a car, so he's like, I've thrown all my passion at everything else, around the rally industry, and I think he sells himself short. I think your dad could probably drive pretty solid, but
he absolutely does sell himself short.
Yeah, because I'm listening to him talk. I'm like, he's so humble here, but I know we could throw him behind the wheel and he can hold his own, But he's, but that's just the type of guy your dad is. He's never gonna toot his own horn, But what he's done there at DirtFish, and and then with you and bringing in these younger drivers, whether it be Tanner last year or Connor this year, and grow the school. And I mean, talking to him about his vision. I mean, not just for the Pacific Northwest, but for the U.S. as a whole. I mean, rally there for the longest time, there was a hole there in the United States. I mean, it was the one motorsport where, it was kind of there, but there was no glue holding it together. And DirtFish is, especially in the Pacific Northwest, has become that glue that kind of holds the whole thing together, and I think that's pretty remarkable what he's been able to do.
Yeah, he like you said, he doesn't like to take credit for it a lot of the time, but once in a while I pull him back and kind of give him the big overview and say, look what you've been able to do, which is pretty amazing. Like you said, he's been able to bring not only in the Pacific Northwest, but, really raise awareness for rally in the U.S. in general. And that's something that obviously comes from a deep passion of his. And it's great that he's been able to do that. And I know there are a lot of people that are very appreciative of that.
Yeah. So that being said, I mean, we're going into, your backyard basically here at Seattle, Evergreen. Not too far from your house, less than an hour drive, I think, right? But
yeah,
so we've got that, and then we've got the doubleheader in Los Angeles. I mean, so we've got 3 rounds. I mean, what are you expecting out of these 3 rounds? Is it really just to get your feet wet and figure out things for next year? I mean, what are the goals? I mean, what are you trying to accomplish out of these next 3 rounds?
Yeah, so going into Seattle with, as you said, my backyard basically. I want to go out there and get a feel for the event in general. I've been to an event without driving, and I've driven the car not in an event. So putting it all kind of together is something that I really want to explore at this event. I'm not setting too crazy high of goals. I'm not going out there expecting to win it all. I'm really, I've managed my expectations and, really want to get out there, get a feel for the car, get a feel for the event, work with our team. And then going into LA, hopefully, having a feel for all of that, push a little bit harder. And, once that's over, hopefully look towards next year and see what we can do there.
Yeah. What's now that, there's the opportunity for you to go racing full time next year. I mean, and I know talking with your dad, I mean, college, comes first. You're in college and the rally comes along because you're going to school and things like that. But I mean, what are the goals for next year? I mean, what can you do this off season, you think, to really, hone your skills and get ready, for a season in 2017?
Yeah. So college definitely makes it an interesting schedule. I've been spending, 3 days here and 4 days in Seattle for the past 2 weeks, and will do for the next, month or so, which is incredibly stressful, but also, nice to be able to get back and get in the car. In the off season, I'm planning on continuing karting. I do karting every Saturday, basically, with Connor. Hopefully getting the Lites car whenever I can. I'm still trying to keep up with rally as well. I want to try and, maybe a limited events next year, but that definitely keeps up, driving skill, everything like that. And, the good thing about the GRC season actually is that it only overlaps with school for about a month or so. So I'm hoping I can sell that to my parents.
Yeah, exactly, right? Still the sale going on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice, man. Well, I got to tell you, I am absolutely stoked. I wish I was there this weekend to be able to to see you kick things off. But all the best of luck to you this weekend. I know I'll be tuned into the TV and watching things go down, and and hope for the best. And I don't know. I think you could sneak in there for a podium. You never know.
That's the hope. I appreciate it, Jim.
All right. Guys. Thanks a lot, James. Take it easy, my friend.
Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That was James Rimmer with DirtFish Rally School, making his Red Bull Global Rallycross Lites debut this weekend. You can tune in there. It's going to be on NBC this weekend. Definitely looking forward to it. Seattle, awesome motorsports market, and DirtFish Rally School, kind of the catalyst holding everything together up there in Seattle. So we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, things are going to get real interesting, real quick, as I'm sure Amy can attest. But we got Blake Bilko Williams going to be calling into the show, and trust me, it's going to be a very entertaining interview. So that coming up after the break.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like sound bars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru boxer engine keeps the WRX Sti a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here, and waiting on my buddy Bilko to call in. Just shot him a text. Seems like everybody's late on the draw today, Hood. I don't know what the heck's going on here.
Well, I mean, they had a busy weekend at Terracross, so I can't complain if they spent all day yesterday sleeping and catching up on their sleep. That's what I did. I remember when I came home, but I also drove, so
you had
a
heck of a haul.
Late as possible and drove all night. So.
Come on, sleep's for when you're dead. Nobody needs to sleep anymore. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it was funny because it was like so random out there at Terracross. There's such a mix of weather and everything else. Like I've never seen it where it goes from hot, where everybody's getting sunburnt, to everybody's putting on their rain jacket, to then it's cold, so you're putting on your sweatshirt, and then it's hot, so you're peeling everything off. And like I got wind burnt, sunburnt, and frostbite like all at the same event. It was crazy.
Did it rain there?
Yeah, it rained. Rained a few different times. So, yeah, I don't know. But other than that, what's happening up there in Winnipeg? I know B Bunny was trying to get me up there just to skip out and go directly up to Winnipeg, and I don't know. He was I don't know. He had a few drinks in him. He was talking about hitting the FMX ramps out there at Heydays. I'm like, seriously, dude? Like, I've seen your injuries. I don't know, man.
That's all he's been talking about is, whenever you go to an event and you actually have to watch and you can't participate and you're just a spectator, it always, same for me, and I'm obviously same goes for you. We've talked about it before at like the mid-400s. Spectating is hard. As soon as you get back home, all you want to do is, jump on your bike or hit some ramps or jump in your truck. Like, it's hard to be a spectator, but yeah, ever since he's been home, he's like, I need to go cut some grab holes in the seat and learn how to do grabs and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, well, just wrap your body with some of that bubble wrap, and then good luck.
All right. Hey, it looks like we got Bilko on the line now, joined by Jim Beaver, Amy Hood. We got Blake Bilko Williams. How's everything going, my friend?
Hey.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, buddy. I got to ask you first off, because I really don't know the answer to this. So, I know, Jolene and your close friends call you Blake. Everybody else knows you as Bilko. I mean, what do you like to be called, and how the heck did you get the name Bilko?
Well, I come from a family nickname. When I was growing up, I thought I was in charge of everything, so my dad started calling me Sergeant Bilko. And then basically my mum just calls me Blake when I'm in trouble, and that's when I get really scared.
So when they use the real name, it's on. It's like, oh, man, you better watch out, right?
Yeah, I must have messed up big time if you're using that.
Yeah, right.
Usually it's the middle name when you're in trouble. It's,
I got my name Thomas, but yeah.
Yeah. So man, I got to tell you, you obviously you're touring with Nitro. But you've been pretty damn busy. I mean, doing some Red Bull GRC stuff. I know you told me you're trying to get back there and do the doubleheader in LA to cap things off. Jumping into a Terracross car, dude. I got to tip the cap to you. You came out firing, man. You were putting down some solid laps, dude.
Yeah, I wanted to come out swinging and not wreck the car. That was the big idea. Come in hot, but not end up on my roof. Although I did, but I kept the thing in one piece.
Yeah. Yeah, what was it? What did you say? It was it won like for 5 in one of the heat races. Everybody, you got so much crap. I felt bad for you. So Bilko checked out on the field. Like this guy, literally, he had the deal wrapped up. It was like 5 laps to go, or through 5 laps, and like one lap. What did you tell me? It turned into like amateur hour, right? And, like he threw the race away.
I couldn't even get out of my own way. There was dudes rolling over everywhere. It was total chaos. And I was like, man, what are these people doing? Just driving around the track.
Oh, yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was it's pretty interesting. So are we going to see you out more Terracross races, or was that just a kind of a one-off there in Minnesota?
No, I'm doing the whole series. So, with Nitro Circus, I've been so busy. I've been doing that literally every weekend since April. So, I skipped a couple of shows on the weekend to come out to Terracross, and I'll definitely be skipping the one in October to come back out for the next round.
Nice. And then I know you said GRC Lites were set in October, doubleheader there in LA. And how did that whole thing? How did you and Red Bull Global Rallycross the Lites stuff? How did that all get put together? I know you spent some time with the DirtFish Rally School, but how did that all? I mean, rally cars. I mean, that's legit. We're talking elite level series to jump into a Lites car, and you're really competitive. I mean, how did that all get put together? The whole rally program.
Well, basically, I just got to thank Travis for the whole deal because, when we're on tour, we travel a lot. We've got a lot of downtime, and literally everywhere we go go-karting. And to be honest, I just didn't really know I had the talent for it. I used to kick his ass every time, and every time we go-karting, he'd still put $100 up and say he was going to beat me, and it was like free money. I'd just kick his ass every time. So after about $1,000, he's like, "All right, I reckon you could drive a shifter cart really good." And we're in Australia, and he threw me in the shifter cart, and I'd smashed him the first day. And he's like, "Damn, I'm pissed at you now." And he was testing in Florida when we were there for Nitro in his Subaru rallycross car. And he's like, "I'll give you a drive in it, just don't beat me." And jumped in his rally car and. Was pretty close to it on my first day. I only did about 9 laps because that's all they'll give me because that's prior to set of tyres. And then he's like, "I think you should try out and do the Red Bull Global Rallycross." And that's where it all started. So I'm going to thank Trav for the whole kick in the butt to get me into it. And that's pretty much where it's gone from there.
Yeah, well, and I know, like Amy and I have talked about on the show, it seems like, there comes a point where, it seems like everybody from the moto industry, we all say, with age comes a cage. I mean, do you feel like, you feel like, I mean, there's only so many years you can backflip motorcycles like you're doing and continue to progress FMX. I mean, do you feel like now you kind of see, like, there is a plan after moto that maybe you can, take this route?
I'll be honest with you, I'm a pussy when it comes to FMX now, I still do backflips and stuff, but I'm scared to... I used to hang off upside down by my feet, do a cliffhanger backflip, and now to me, that's like, nah, I'll leave that to the kids. So, but yeah, even with Terracross on the weekend, I rolled over and I just laughed about it. It was the funniest thing ever, So, yeah, with age does come the cage, and I friggin' love a roll cage. It's that good.
So on
that was the same with me and Feist. Like we rolled over right off the start, and we were just sitting there upside down laughing. Because we can still go and get stuff done the next day. Like, you don't have to worry about crashing and ending up in the hospital or whatnot. So sometimes...
Exactly. Well, I did go into full retard mode in my first Terracross race when I tipped over. I got really excited and thought I had to help roll the car. So I undid my seatbelt and climbed out and helped them tip it over. And then when I got back in, 2 people passed me, and I thought I was going to pass them back. So... without putting my seatbelts back on, I timed it and tried to pass those 2 guys. And I was flying around the cabin with no seatbelt on for the last 3 corners.
And they were saying, and I haven't seen the footage yet, but they were saying you're literally like going off the jumps and you're flying up in the seat, and the only thing holding you in the car was the steering wheel.
I was hanging off for dear life, but I just had the eye of the tiger. I figured I rolled it when I was in the lead, and then I thought I could make up these 2 spots in the last 3 corners and nothing was going to stop me, and I ended up blowing it and ran sideways and bent on my wheel and still finishing last.
Oh man, that was the first time you ever really raced razors. I know like Joe and Hubert and some of them. They spend a ton of time out at Trav's house in the razors. I mean, you shredding them out there when you're there. Or is this pretty much first time?
No, I haven't been to Trav's house in about 8 years. I'm quite happy for that because every time someone goes to Trav's house, they get talking to doing something dumb.
See, I could see you as a guy that'd be there all the time. You're totally staying away from that place, huh?
I'm old and wiser now. To be old and wise, you must first be young and stupid, and I'm not going to Trav's house now. No way. Not a chance.
I'm supposed to go out there in December, man. We got to get you out. It'll be fun.
Yeah, well, good luck, mate. I'll see you there.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Australia. You can do whatever you want because I'm not going to be there.
I need a backflip coach, man. I think you'd make an awesome one.
I've driven a couple of whatever you call them, razors, sidebars, whatever. You know, we were at a Sand Dunes trip a couple of months ago, and it was just some Kawasaki thing, and we just, drove it in a straight line over a few bumps. But basically all I know is that they roll really easy, and I think I learnt the hard way like 11 years ago when Yamaha first came out with one, and it was myself and Robbie Madison and some idiot that owned a shop in Western Australia gave us the keys to it to drive it in the parking lot. And he took us for a lap on this track, and he went really fast. So then Matto drove, and he obviously had to go faster. And then I get in the driver's seat and thought, yep, I got to go faster again. And we didn't have seatbelts on it. Jumped back into the car park of the bike shop and just turned as hard as I could. And next thing we tipped out, and Matto went out the windscreen, and I went out the side of it, and just totaled this shop demo Yamaha side-by thing. And that was about 9 years ago. That was probably the greatest experience I have in a razor of any sort.
Oh man! And those original Yamahas, those things didn't have anything for wheel travel. They were so easy to tip. I had friends that have broke their legs in those things where they go to tip over and you stick your leg out because there's no doors on them. And to try
that was the thing. Matto flew straight out the front, and I flew out the side, and we just rolled out of it with a gravel rash and went, oh, that was pretty stupid.
Yeah. Oh man! So what's up next for you? Obviously, we got some Terracross, some GRC. Still touring with Nitro. I know you guys got about 2 months left of that tour.
Yeah, well, no, there's another 4 weeks. We're just in Ameswood for the rest of the tour. We go to Canada for the next 3 weekends.
Nice.
So yeah, 2 shows this weekend. A Wednesday show in Fort McMurray because unfortunately that place had a bit of
you're up in Canada now.
Yeah, the rest of the tour is in Canada. So this weekend, Prince George, Grand Prairie, Fort McMurray, and then Victoria. And then the last one is Kamloops, but I scammed a weekend off to do Terracross. So everyone else will be in Kamloops, and I'll be in North Carolina rolling my Terracross Polaris razor.
Rolling your razor.
Rolling.
Nice, man.
Hey, did you hear about Jim's first experience on his Terracross debut, where he actually did a front flip?
Yeah.
And then
he did a front flip?
No, it was a double front flip, man.
I've seen Hailey Deegan do a back flip on her debut, but I didn't know Jim did a front flip.
I came up short on a double, and I came up short on a double. It clipped, and the front bumper dug in, and I literally did a double front flip, and then the car landed on its wheels.
Did you just drive off out of it?
No, dude, the car was demolished. There was nothing left.
I was going to say, if you just drove off, you say I meant to do that.
No, I tried. There was nothing to drive away with. No, that's what the frame was so bent. The whole car was so thrashed. They they said that's the first time they've ever had a razor with 2 miles on it that was a complete write-off. Like there was nothing even salvageable about it. They put it in the parts bin, and then I got a new razor for the next event. Like it was that bad.
Good one, Jim.
So that was my first experience. It kind of brought me back to reality. I'm a trophy truck guy, and I learned these razors, they just don't go everything like a trophy truck does, you know. So,
yeah, I just had dollars in mind. I tried to be cautious, but I still broke some stuff.
Yeah, that's it. It's all about survival in Terracross, getting into the finish line, right?
Yeah, I think Deegan finished 1 out of 4 races on the weekend. It ripped about 6 drive shafts out and bent a roll cage. He was going mad.
Yeah, I had somebody call me as soon as it was over. They're a mutual friend of mine in Deegan's. They couldn't get a hold of him, and they go, "Hey, how did Brian do?" And I go, "Well," I said, "he was really fast." They said, "Well, do you win?" And I said, "Well, no." I said, "He was kind of like a human wrecking ball."
In the 3 races, which totaled about 18 laps. I think he finished about 4 of them.
Yeah, he was he was fast, and then he was fast for a lap or 2, and then he was just parked on the side.
He just faded like a cheap T-shirt. Couldn't pull it together in the race.
Yeah, no, it was kind of if and when he was going to self-destruct, right? And I like Brian. You know, hopefully we see him back out there. You know, even afterwards, he told me, he's like, man, I got to learn how to save these cars. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's easier said than done. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call in, and we'll definitely have to catch up. I don't know, maybe around the doubleheader out in L.A. It'd be fun to catch up with you around the next Red Bull GRC round.
Well, if you're out there at North Carolina for the next round of Terracross, I'll be there, and I'll just run into you when I see you if you want.
All right. Yeah, I think I got.
You're not going to break my bumper, so.
Yeah, I got stuck in the pit. I think I don't know what happened. Somebody sent me a video. Somebody got stuck on the top, and then you ran into them, and I ran into the back of you, and then somebody ran into the back of me, and we had like a complete mess in the bottom of that pit down there. Then you backed up. I backed up.
For the second half of the day, I think that happened pretty much every race, and I was scared to go in there, and I left a big gap, and I still hit the back of someone.
Yeah.
And literally all I seen was sky, and I did almost do what Haley Deegan did and did a backflip and just rolled straight backward over my roof.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, because I was on your rear bumper. You would have rolled right over the top of me.
Yeah, I just would have done a roof tap.
Yeah, exactly. Freestyle razors, right? We got a new sport coming out.
Nah, definitely. I'll keep my hands on the wheel.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Blake, man. Take it easy, my friend, and we'll definitely catch up soon.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And, we'll speak to you guys soon. See you, Amy.
All right.
Yeah, see you guys.
Take it easy, buddy. All right.
No worries.
All right. We're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We'll be back to wrap things up after this break. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX Sti a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX Sti, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Honey, they're giving away $79,000 in guaranteed cash prizes for the crazy cash harvest at the Blue Water Resort and Casino.
On Saturdays, swipe your club card to receive free grand prize drawing entries for the grand finale. One winner will win $25,000 on October 29th.
Plus, on Saturdays, a chance to win $3,000 in cash prizes. Drawings every half hour from 2 to 6 p.m.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Need new new tires? Between September 1st and October 15th, General Tire's making trails, and you can receive a Visa rebate card for up to $70 with the purchase of 4 qualifying tires. From the ultra-high performance G-Max AS03 to the all-new Grabber X3 for extreme mud, dirt, and rock, General Tire has a tire that will help get you there. For more information, drive over to GeneralTire.com, and remember, with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here, wrapping things up, and man, we had a diverse guest list today, Hood. Man, a little from everything: rally, FMX, razors. I don't know. It's been a fun one.
And that's what keeps things interesting, and keeps everybody informed of what's going on in the motorsports world. It's best to have a little snippets from every industry. I like it.
Yeah. I got to give one couple more shout-outs here. Obviously, I got my new show debuting later on this week. I'll have all kinds of stuff up on social media. Ken Block, my first guest. Jim Beaver's Project Action. And Ken dropping Gymkhana 9 today, so it's going to be really fun to catch up with Ken on that first episode. It's going to be through Podcast 1. Man, it's funny, this Ride United movie, Jolene asked me to post up, a couple of plugs for her because she's got a part in this. I'm looking like Ryan Dungey's got a part, Toby Price has got a part, Ken Roxon's got a part. I'm like, I can't wait to download this because it's done by Red Bull Media House. Like, this is a legit moto film. Like, I'm really pumped.
Oh, it has everybody in it, too, freestylers, pro motocrossers, Cooper Webb, Europeans, Hurlings is in it, too. Like, it's everybody. Yeah. I'm so stoked to see the actual movie and how they kind of link the U.S. to the European racing. I think it'll be really interesting, and that's I think why it's called United. I think it's going to kind of shine light on racing all over the world, so it's I'm excited to see it. Yeah,
mix of FMX, Enduro, Supercross, Freeride, like it's going to be awesome. So RideUnitedTheMovie.com. It's available on DVD, Apple iTunes, Google Play, so definitely check that out. And got to give a shout-out to all of our sponsors. Polaris Razor, obviously. Couldn't do it without them. General Tire, Subaru, KCI Lites, Gibson, DirtFish. Don't forget that code at DirtFish.com is JBDirtFish. MTX and MTX.com, that code is just Beaver, my last name. Impact, Terracross, Blue Resort and Casino. I'm Jim Beaver. She's Amy Hood. It's at JimBeaver15, at AmyHood71. DownandDirtyShow.com. Download our app. Subscribe and review us on iTunes. And, man, we got another Stack Show coming up at you next week. I don't know, you got anything before we leave, Hood?
No, I hopefully going to be able to make it on the show next week. I'm not too sure right now because I'm finally heading off for my first adventure and my big news that hopefully we'll be able to drop in a month's time. But, I'm finally heading on the road for that. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I'll be gone for the next couple weeks, so.
Yeah, maybe we need to get somebody from this big news organization on the show when you're ready to share your big news.
Yeah, we'll have to do that for sure. And I think we both know who we'll bring on.
Yeah, so.
He's a whirlwind.
So, yeah, it'll be fun. But thanks to all of you for tuning in. We will definitely see you guys next week. Be safe. Have fun. Don't drink and drive. I don't know. How many more disclaimers can we throw in here at the end of the, end of the show?
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah. As always, game on.